Hello everyone, this is Pat Walker with MissionWinners.com, bringing you our latest market update. Let's dive into the highlights from Thursday and Friday's trading sessions, along with a look ahead to next week's earnings calendar. The stock market showed a positive disposition for most of Thursday's session, although we saw some late-day selling pressure. The S&P 500 ended flat, while the Nasdaq Composite closed 0.2% lower. This downturn coincided with Nvidia extending its post-earnings decline, dropping 6.4% despite reporting above consensus earnings and guidance. However, it's worth noting that Nvidia's shares are still up an impressive 137% year-to-date, even including Thursday's decline. The broader market maintained a positive bias, with the equal-weighted S&P 500 logging a 0.4% gain. Advancers led decliners by a 2-to-1 margin at the New York Stock Exchange and by a 3-to-2 margin at the Nasdaq. Several companies reported earnings that were well received by the market. CrowdStrike, Affirm Holdings, and Best Buy were standouts, with Affirm surging an impressive 31.9%. On the economic front, jobless claims remained steady below recession-like levels, and Q2 GDP was revised upward, supporting the narrative of a potential soft landing for the economy. Before we move on to Friday's update, I want to remind all of our listeners, if you're finding value in this market breakdown, please take a moment to like this podcast, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Your support helps us continue providing these insights, and we love hearing from you. Friday's session ended on a high note, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average setting a new record high. The market was buoyed by positive responses to earnings reports from companies like Dell, Marvell, and MongoDB. Tech giants Amazon, Tesla, and Nvidia also contributed to the upward momentum. All 11 S&P 500 sectors finished higher, with gains ranging from 0.3% in energy to 1.9% in consumer discretionary. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index, or SOX, surged 2.6%, helped by the rebound in Nvidia and Marvell's strong earnings report. Looking at the bigger picture, here's how the major indices performed year to date. S&P 500, up 18.4%. Nasdaq Composite, up 18.0%. S&P Midcap 400, up 11.1%. Dow Jones Industrial Average, up 10.2%. Russell 2000, up 9.4%. Video segment, key list performance. Now let's move on to our video segment where we'll take a quick look at two stocks from our key list. Amazon and ServiceNow. I will get the charts loaded up for you. So we're looking at Amazon, and it's just basing across here. This is a daily chart. I'm going to show you something here. We'll drag it over. You see these tops across here? I'll draw a line for you, just to kind of show you something. Just on the daily, there's support on the 200-day, and it's a max list stock, all right? And then today it does this. So you said, well, Pat, how'd you get in it? Well, we're watching and it starts to pick up. This is a great tactic at Mission Winners we use. This is an hourly chart. What do you see here? I see a cup with a handle, and it starts to pick up on a pickup in volume right there. You see this? And then it follows through on more volume. As it's doing that, what are we doing? We're buying and we're adding to it. It works, and this is an important lesson for everybody. Please never buy a full position at one time. Ease into it. Let the price action tell you that you should buy more. And this works. And we added to it a couple of times. And it's working. Where's it going? I don't know. But it's a start. This is the hourly. Go back to the daily. And you can see the small shelf right there. And that's what we're looking for. Here's another one for you. And again, these were on the key list for buy. ServiceNow was just basing all day, and then look what it did, and look at the volume on the daily. What was our trigger? You see the clean and simple flat base? It's nothing fancy. That's what we're after. Why? Again, it's easy for everybody to see, which increases the probabilities that A, they see it, and B, they'll buy. All right? There's the daily, simple base. Take it to the hourly. See the volume come into this? Watch this. You'll love this. This is a tactic I've used for years. This is what I taught at IBD meetups. Just basing here, and then it finally goes across that line, these tops, with a volume pickup. Look at the volume pickup. That's your trigger. It tells you other people saw what we saw, and they're buying. You can use this to your benefit to make money. And this is what it did. This is the hourly chart. Here's a 30-minute chart. Look at the volume coming into it. Look at that. And then into the close, look at the volume that came into it. You want to see some power? Check this. There's the 10-minute. Look at the volume. That's big money that bought into the close. That's a 10-minute chart. We use those as triggers for buying, okay? We take it on simple charts, simple daily and weekly charts. They're just basing, and we wait for that volume trigger. Remember, folks, these are just two of the stocks we're watching closely. Our full key list and detailed analysis are available to our missionwinners.com VIP members. Friday's economic data painted a picture of steady growth and controlled inflation. Personal income rose 0.3% month over month in July, while personal spending jumped 0.5%. The PCE price index, a key inflation indicator watched by the Fed, was up 0.2%, leaving it at 2.5% year over year, unchanged from June. These figures align well with the market's view that the U.S. economy might achieve a soft landing and that the Fed could potentially cut its policy rate as inflation moves back toward the 2% goal. Marvell, the semiconductor company, reported impressive Q2 results, with its stock surging 9.2% on Friday. Their data center segment, which accounts for 69% of sales, saw revenue jump 92% year over year. Marvell is forecasting further growth in this segment, driven by AI and accelerated computing investments. While some of Marvell's other segments have faced challenges, the company sees signs of improvement and expects growth to resume in the coming quarters. As we look ahead to next week, here are some key earnings reports to watch. Tuesday, MOMO pre-market, GTLB, PD, and ZS after hours. Wednesday, notable reports include DLTR, HRL, AI, CPRT, and HPE. Thursday, keep an eye on NIO, a VGO, DOCU, and PATH. Friday, ABM, BRC, and GCO report pre-market. That wraps up our market update for this week. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions. This is Pat Walker with missionwinners.com, wishing you a profitable week ahead. Stay informed, stay invested.